Hey guys, we're gonna continue reading our seasons book because in science we're talking about the seasons. Okay? We are going to pick up, remember, in winter. Alright. I don't know about you guys. I know you guys probably like the snow, so you probably love winter. I love looking at snow. I don't like driving in it and I hate being cold. But here we go, guys. Winter. Owen tastes the snow. Swallowing, he licks his lips. Needs sugar, he says. What is snow? The air around you is full of water. The water is in the form of a gas called water vapor, so you can't see it. High in the sky where the air is cold, the water vapor turns into tiny droplets of water that you see as clouds. Clouds are made up of millions of water droplets. In winter, when it is very cold, the water droplets in clouds freeze into ice crystals. Over time, these crystals get bigger and form beautiful snowflakes. When the crystals get too heavy to stay up in the air, they fall to the ground as snow. See these pretty snowflakes? I'm sure during the winter you guys get to probably cut different paper into snowflakes. I know we like doing that around here in this house. So why is there frost on the window? Sorry guys, I have dishes being done in the house. So, why is there frost on the window? When the water vapor touches a very cold glass surface, it turns into ice, making frost. Once the first ice crystal has formed, other crystals slowly begin to grow out and to form into patterns that look like feathers, ferns, and swirls. The patterns that frost makes depends on many things, including the temperature and the wind. Even tiny scratches or bits of dust on the glass can affect the frost pattern. Frost forms best when the air is very still. If the conditions are just right, the frost may look like a large, sparkly painting. A lacy curtain has been drawn on the window by the frost artist. You guys see that picture? That's all what the frost has done. And depending on, like it said, if there's dust on there or how the wind is blowing, it can make certain different little patterns. It's pretty cool to see. Owen's cheeks turn red from the cold lipstick kisses given by the wind. So why do my cheeks turn red in the cold? When you have been playing out in the cold for a long time, your cheeks turn a nice rosy color. This is your body's way of protecting you from freezing. At low temperatures, the blood vessels in your face open up to let more blood flow through. Blood carries heat to your skin and helps you stay warm. When more blood flows through your cheeks, they turn red. Spring! Lily hears thunder. You don't have to yell, she calls. Still, the sky grumbles. What makes a thunderstorm? When warm, humid air quickly rises high into the sky, it cools and condenses into giant clouds. Electrical energy builds up inside the clouds, and it is released as a burst of lightning. A streak of lightning contains an enormous amount of energy and heats the air around it to many times hotter than the sun. This intense heat causes the air to expand so quickly that you hear the expansion as a loud boom and then a thunder. Because light travels faster than sound, you see lightning before you hear thunder. Thunder, lightning, strong winds, heavy rain, and sometimes hail are all part of that awesome power of a thunderstorm. Why do bees like the flowers? Here in the garden, Lily looks like a flower, and the bees are so confused. Look, they're all on her hat because she's got all these little flowers up on her hat. Bees gather the nectar and pollen that flowers make. Nectar is sweet like sugar water. Pollen is a fine powder. The nectar is turned into honey. Some of the pollen is fed to the baby bees. New baby bees start to hatch in the spring, when there are plenty of flowers. The rest of the honey and pollen is stored away as food for the winter, when there aren't many flowers to visit. Sorry about that, guys. The wind has fingers that tickle Lily's pink nose. Achoo! She sneezes. Why do I sneeze? A sneeze is a sudden burst of air through your nose and a mouth. You sneeze when something is irritating or tickling the inside of your nose and mouth. Sneezing is the body's way of getting rid of whatever is bothering it. In the springtime, you might sneeze a lot if you're allergic to the pollen. During the spring, blooming trees and other plants release large amounts of pollen into the air. If you are allergic to pollen, breathing it in causes your body to overreact. Your body produces different kinds of chemicals to help fight off the invading pollen. These chemicals irritate your nose and make you sneeze. It's time for summer! I love the summer. It's all warm. Clinging to Kevin, damp air refuses to move, even with a fan. That means he's super hot, and they have a lemonade stand. Those are always out in the summer. All right. So why is the air so sticky? Water is always evaporating from oceans, lakes, rivers, and other sources into the air. The higher the temperature, the more water that goes into the air. Therefore, when it's very hot in the summer, the air can get very moist or humid. Air movements can bring moist or dry air across long distances. When it's hot, you usually sweat. Sweat evaporates from your skin and takes heat away from your body, making you feel cooler. When it is humid as well as hot, it takes more time for your sweat to evaporate because there is already a lot of water vapor in the air. The sweat stays on your skin, and you feel not only hot, but sticky too. See? He's wiping his head because he's all sweaty and sticky there. Let's see if I can turn the page here. Why do fireflies grow? Have you guys ever seen fireflies? I don't know if they're out here in Colorado, but when I'm from the south in Florida and Georgia, when we drive there, you can see the fireflies go by and just little sparks of little light. It's pretty cool to see at night. So fireflies are beetles with special structures called lanterns in their abdomens. Chemical reactions produce light in the lanterns, making the fireflies glow. Fireflies use their glow mainly to communicate. Different species of fireflies flash different signals, much like coded messages. They use the light to signal where they are, to discourage predators, and to warn off other fireflies of danger. In the night's darkness, tiny lights are flickering. What strange flies are these? See all those little bright lights? Those are all fireflies. The sun cooks Kevin. He turns brown like a baked cookies. I'm all done, he says. Why do I tan? Everyone's skin makes a pigment called melanin. The more melanin there is, the darker the color of the skin. When you are out in the sun, your skin starts to make more melanin. Melanin shields your body from the damaging rays of the sun. When your skin makes more melanin, it turns darker and you get a suntan. When you stay out in the sun for a long time, your skin can't make enough melanin fast enough. That's when you get a sunburn. Sunburns hurt. I've had plenty of sunburns, guys. Does everyone have 4 seasons? Let's find out. Not every place has 4 seasons. In some parts of the world, there are only 2 seasons. For example, if you live in the tropics, the tilt of the Earth's axis doesn't affect you as much. The sun hits you in about the same way every day, so the temperature stays about the same all year. But the amount of rain changes enough that there is a dry season and a wet season. If you live near the Earth's axis at the North Pole or the South Pole, the temperature is always cold, but you have a light season and a dark season. This means that for part of the year when the axis is pointing at the sun, you have 24 hours of light and day. On the other extreme, when the axis is pointing away from the sun, you live in complete darkness for 24 hours a day. Many places in the world have autumn, winter, spring, and summer. What is your favorite season? All right, that's the end. So talking about that, I have family who lives in Alaska, and it is pretty crazy because when I went to visit there, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and it still looks like probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when they get a lot of stuff done during their day because their day is longer, being there's more sunlight out. If you guys could go ahead, draw me a picture of what your favorite season is. I would also like you, I'm going to upload this page. Go ahead and do this page for me and upload that as well. I look forward to seeing your guys' pictures.